everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. If you are, thank you so much for coming back to my corner of the internet. Today it's all about makeup by Mario. We're going to be reviewing the Surreal Skin Foundation, the concealer, and I think it's a contour stick? The Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick contour stick. So if you'd like to know more about these products, see how they wear, see how they perform throughout the day, stay exactly where you are because we're getting into it right now. I got everything from Sephora. It was an online order. And on the Sephora website, the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Luminous Hydrating Foundation is $42. It comes in 30 different shades. It's medium coverage, long wearing, hydrating, has a natural finish, it's a liquid formula, and it's vegan. Then the description says it's a breathable, luminous foundation that effortlessly builds and blends to illuminate the complexion with customizable, long wearing coverage. The highlighted ingredients are grapeseed oil and vegetal squalene, which provide restoring moisturizing benefits, and perfecting powders that work with skin's natural texture for a smooth and enhanced finish. Then the Surreal Skin Awakening Concealer is $29 and comes in 26 different shades. This medium coverage buildable formula conceals even the darkest under eye circles. All the shades are crease proof and long wearing with a self-setting formula that locks in with a natural skin-like finish. Caffeine visibly depuffs, tightens, and smooths skin for an awakened look. And last, the Contour and Bronzing Stick is $32. It comes in 7 different shades. Now this one has a matte finish and it is full coverage. A dual-ended cream shaping stick that is buildable and swipes on seamlessly for true-to-skin definition that dries down to a natural matte finish. This dual-ended shaping stick combines Mario's signature contour technique into one product that creates an effortless, softly sculpted look. The shades complement complexions regardless of undertone and are never orange or muddy. Thank you, Mario. They also feature a removable angled buffing brush for effortless application. I have primed the skin already using the vitamin-enriched face base from Bobbi Brown, along with my normal skincare routine. As per usual, I'm going to start with a run test just so we can see how runny the formula is, see if it's a thicker consistency or a thinner, watery consistency. This usually kind of helps give you an idea of the coverage. Oh, okay, so that is rather thin, a little bit watery looking, so that is gonna be something that is super buildable. It's funny because it kind of runs like a skin tint does, which is kind of surprising for being medium buildable. I thought it would be much thicker. Let's see how it goes on. Oh, the shade match, I think she's good. Wow. I don't know what's been happening lately, but shade matches have been working for me, and I'm so excited about it because that's not usually the case. And since it says that this foundation can be thinned out, that's essentially how I'm going to build it up at first, is almost like it was a skin tint and apply it that way. Then I'll build it more past that, but I just want to see if it can act really like a tinted moisturizer, essentially. If it can give me just a little bit of coverage to even out my complexion, but also keep it looking like I'm not wearing anything, I think that would be the best result we could get from it. For just a tiny bit of coverage, that is beautiful. It is luminous, it does have a very hydrated, glowy, dewy finish, but it's not too much. It's not like I've just got a bunch of glitter on my face or a bunch of little mica pearls, and I'm getting that from the foundation itself. It's not even the products that I used beforehand, although those did help, of course, because they were so hydrating, but that finish is mostly just this foundation. Now that whole side was just that one pump. I'm gonna add one more pump and do the exact same thing, just try to keep it really, really sheer and really, really thin, just to see what it looks like on this right side only. Wow. Okay, well, the forehead's gonna have lots of coverage, but I just wanna see what it looks like if we continue to build. Gotta admit that that run test kind of scared me a little bit. It just made it seem like it was gonna be super watery, and as I built, it seemed like it was gonna be one of those kinds that just kind of wipe away as you continue to build on top of it, but it's not doing that. It's performing like a slow running foundation, something that's super thick, something that has a lot of coverage built into it. This is giving all of that, but it's a water weight consistency, so it doesn't get thick and cakey looking. It just looks flawless. And with the product that's on the right side of my face, I literally feel like I could just carry this over to the left side and it would be enough product to still give me that really nice wash of color and even out my complexion, but without having to add even more product. I mean, I don't know, we're gonna try it. It really seems like it would just because it's so user-friendly. You guys, I cannot with this finish. I don't even have the concealer on yet, and it looks so beautiful. The luminosity, the hydration, the glow, and it doesn't feel like I've got anything on the skin, but I still have coverage. Now time to build. Let's go ahead with 2 more pumps. Put that on the left side of the face, and we'll just blend it all together, and that will probably be my final layer. It just looks so good, I don't really need a whole lot. I say as I add more than I've added thus far, I think. Now that it's built up a little bit more, this is definitely a neutral undertone. You can tell by all of the yellow that's left over. But by the time I get everything else on, the concealer, the bronzer, the contour, the powder, it should kind of help bring it all together and not be so intensely yellow looking. It's buildable all right. What razor burn? I don't have razor burn. We don't know what razor burn is in this house. I wish that was truth. It would be wonderful to not have to deal with razor burn anymore. But no! That's just part of my everyday. Okay, I just wanted to go in with a sponge to sort of even everything out, make sure there were no brush strokes left over, make sure that blend is just as seamless as possible. Now, before it's set and we go in with anything else, I just want to look at it and see what we're working with here. Okay, hopefully this level of luminosity does not stick around after it's set, because I would imagine if you're oily, or really even like me being dry, I mean, I still get oily throughout the day, just my natural oils coming out, but something that's this shiny preset, hopefully it won't turn into just a wet, gooey mess by the end of the day once all of the oils from your skin have come out. But I'm hoping once we set it and get all the other products onto the face with it, that it won't be so intensely glowy. Okay, the foundation is on, spread evenly, blend it out completely, no brush strokes. Let's move right along to the concealer. I'm just gonna put this on the under eyes. I'm not gonna do all of the facial highlighting and stuff because I wanna see how the concealer performs and I wanna see how the foundation performs, but separately. We've got a super flat doe foot. I don't think I've ever seen a doe foot as flat as that. Usually they're those like rounded types. I guess this is technically more so a paddle applicator, but it's still in the shape of a doe foot instead of your typical oval paddle shape that they usually have. Coverage is immediately, it almost looks full instead of medium, but I bet you once we blend it a little bit, it will turn into medium. The consistency is interesting. It's super creamy, like really creamy, almost like a thicker pot concealer, but it's definitely a liquid still. So that's interesting. Almost like a cream pot concealer and a liquid concealer had a baby. Oh, well, it does actually stay very concentrated within its level of pigment even after you blend it out. That means it's got quite a bit of pigment within it. To be able to remain that thin and use that little of product but still give that much coverage, it's got a high percentage of pigment. And again, what that does for you as the consumer, it makes it where you can use less product to get the same amount of coverage that you need from other concealers that you would have had to have built up a lot more product. And that point persists even more if you have mature skin, because the more product you add, the more it's going to make that texture look more texturized, making you look drier, making you look more cakey. So the less product you can use, the better. Honestly, based on the way this is blending out, I probably could have gotten away with just the inner portion spot and not done the outer portion, and I bet I would have been able to carry the product from the inner corner to the outer edge. But you know, that's the point of these videos, is to give some trial and error, first impressions, initial reviews. You know, I buy the stuff so you don't have to, so that we can experience it together. Which you guys know already, whether somebody sends me something or whether I buy something, I'm gonna tell you if I don't like it or not. The problem is most of the stuff within the makeup world, whether it's, you know, not the greatest quality or the highest, most prestigious luxury items, 9 times out of 10, you can make it work. Granted, it might have some quirks, whatever that product is, that you might have to work with specifically every time with that product, but usually within makeup products you can make them work. So it's not a matter of, you know, saying, oh wow, this didn't do immediately what I wanted it to do, so it sucks. Some stuff you might have to use a different combination of products with. Some stuff just doesn't like layering with other products. You could just be having a really bad skin day and your skin's just flaking off. Something like that could cause even more problems with the result of the makeup on your skin. Anyway, just know that I'm always going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you if something sucks or not, in my opinion. But if I can make it work, I'm also going to tell you how I made it work. Because nobody wants to waste their money, including me. Okay, concealer's blended and flawless. Not creasing really at all. I mean, it's definitely not set, but it really did do an amazing job with those dark circles. You can't really see any dark circles. You know what? This concealer is actually like a peachy toned color corrector and a concealer combined in one. That's what I'm getting from it. Because, I mean, look at how well it canceled out my dark circles. Even in the mirror, it's canceling out my dark circles. So it's not just because all of the lights are reflecting on the wet product. It actually worked. Really, the only place I'm noticing a whole lot of texture is my forehead. But that's normal because I'm very expressive, I'm very emotive, so until I set that, it's probably gonna be really greasy. I even just tried not to move my forehead when I was talking, and I didn't succeed at all. It's just so habitual. But I bet you 10 bucks if I take this brush right now and just go over that again, they all blended right back out. You can still see them because it's my face, you know? But it looks like I can alleviate the intensity by blending it out and then setting it. But before we set it, since we still have a cream product, we're gonna use the Makeup by Mario Light Medium Soft Sculpt Contour Stick. It said dual-ended, so that maybe is a bronzer? That is very warm. Okay, that looks like a bronzer. Wait, is that warm? No, maybe that's cool. I can't really tell without it being on the face. It could even be that it's just kind of right in the middle, like a neutral. I need to find out the double-ended thing though. Is it just a brush? It is just a brush. Darn. I really was hoping and wishing and thinking.
Wishing and hoping and thinking and praying
That the double-ended part meant it was going to be another product. I do kind of wish that it was two products, because now 30 bucks does seem like a lot again for a contour stick. But I've got it, it's here, let's use it, whatever. And since I don't know if it's gonna be more bronzy or more contoury, I'm just gonna start with a little bit and use it like a contour, then I'll fix whatever I need to fix accordingly past that point. I really feel like that's a neutral. It almost seems a little bit yellow, and that's really why it's giving me neutral. But see, in some places, like across the bridge of my nose, that looks cool toned, like a contour instead. Now for me, I hate using the brushes that come on products because I don't want to get them dirty and have to clean them. I'd rather just use my regular brushes, so that's what I'm going to use. But I am using a brush that's very similar to this brush. It's still got the really sharp angle to it like this one does, but this one has the little beady things in it, almost like a skincare brush does. But I'm not going to use one of those. We're just going to use this brush. I'm getting bronzer. I'm getting warmth, I think, but no oranginess at all. So you know what? I am gonna give this sort of like a bronzer kind of title because it's not so warm that it can't be used as a contour, but it's also not so cool that it can't be used as a bronzer. So it's gonna be dubbed Bronzer. I mean, I know that name is already taken for a specific product, but I just feel like that's what this is. It is giving bronzer, but it's also giving contour. And see, this is why I was so excited about the whole double-ended thing, because I thought it was gonna be contour on one side, bronzer on the other, and that would have been so perfect. You know, they have their 6 different shades, so they could do a cool toned version and a warm toned version on each of those sticks, and it would be perfect. But again, it is fine. I can make this work, and it still looks like I'm wearing bronzer and contour, but I'm still definitely gonna be going in with the Soft Sculpt Skin Enhancer because it does actually have a little bit more warmth, so it should kind of help even everything out. Oh, I hope. Okay, we've got dimension, we've got luminosity, and we have a little bit of a sun kiss, but not enough. So using the Skin Enhancer, I'm gonna grab just a little bit on my finger to warm it up, and in between where I've put my concealer and the Soft Sculpt stick, I'm just gonna put a few little dots right along the cheekbones. This is just gonna help give me a little bit more drama and definition on those outer edges. Just like that. There we go. Just a little bit more warmth and definition. Nothing too cray-cray. Doesn't change anything way too much, but it helps with that weird undertone that I did have going on a little bit and creates that definition. Okay, now I'm gonna go off camera, get the rest of my complexion products done, like blush and setting powder. I'm gonna come back, show you what it looks like at the very end of setting the face, then we'll start our wear test. So I'll see you guys in just a second. I got all my complexion products done, now let's set this. At this point, it looks phenomenal. I did blend out the little bit of creasing I had on the under eyes. Point being, I did have some creasing on the under eyes. That was a little bit surprising with it saying that it was self-setting. I didn't think that I would really have any creasing, but I did, but it was just a little bit. So it wasn't bad. But once we set it all, we should really be able to tell if it's gonna continue to crease or not. So to set the concealer in the places that have a lot of fine lines, I'm gonna use the NARS Light Reflecting Powder. Then for the rest of the face, I'm using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. Okay, setting it is the answer. This half is set, this half is unset. Both sides are perfectly beautiful. The set side has that luminosity still shining through. I am dewy, I am glowy. It just looks like I have really healthy, plumped up skin. Then the unset side looks exactly the same way, but the reflect is so much more intense because it's still wet and tacky, and the under eyes are creasing a little bit more than on the side that's set. So even though the concealer says that it's self-setting, I would still set it, personally. You do you, boo. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you think looks the best. But for me, I need to set it. Now the face is completely set. We are luminous, we are glowy, we are dewy, the skin is blurred. It is a flawless skin day. The complexion's perfect. So now I'll see you guys for the first check-in. Okay, you guys, we are now at the 5-hour mark. Excuse me. Who are you talking to? Why are you yelling at me? Why? That's rude. I'm speaking to my friend. Can you wait? Anyway, how rude. Excuse me. Can you wait? Wait. Hold on. In a minute. In a minute. In a minute. Okay, fine. Come here. Come here. I will hold you so that you can have the attention that you deserve. Okay. Now, this is how we're looking at the 5-hour mark. I finished the application process at 4 and it is now 9. So it's literally 5 hours, like exactly right now. And I'm still very luminous, still glowy. I'm not getting hardcore creasing in the fine lines. Really, it's just kind of the regular amount of creasing, especially for how expressive I am, as I've said. The finish is just so beautiful. It's so natural. It's very, very skin-like, and the lasting power is amazing. It's not getting too dewy, too glowy, like too oily looking as time goes on, like I was afraid it was going to, just based on how glowy it actually was upon initial application. It is getting a little luminous in some of the areas that I did set that were no longer luminous, but again, it's not super bad. It's not really, really intense. Oh, my mascara is transferring onto my under eye, but other than that, the foundation and the concealer and the soft sculpt shaping stick all still look phenomenal. It is now midnight. We have officially hit 9 hours. And your boy is tired. So let's do this final check-in and see how the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation lasted through this 8 hours. So go ahead and come a little closer and let's see what we're working with here. I've definitely still got a very hydrated, dewy glow left to the skin. It looks still really, really natural. It didn't get way too oily looking or wet looking. It looks good. I do have some creasing along the forehead, just my, normal creasing that I typically get from being expressive, being human. Tell you what though, this mascara is definitely not a long-wearing non-transfer mascara, because it transferred a lot. But strictly looking at the complexion and especially the texture on my under eyes, they look really good. Especially considering, I don't know what the deal was, but my eyes got super, super watery earlier. I was pouring some resin and I had literal teardrops coming off of my eyelashes landing on the table. They were watering like crazy. So that's actually probably partially why the mascara transferred to the under eyes so much, because they've been like wet and it's not waterproof mascara. But regardless, the under eyes look really, really smooth still, considering it's been 9 hours and they got wet. Literally the only places that I see the concealer has broken down is areas where it looks like it's been saturated with moisture and it's left like a patch. So it's not waterproof, but it is long wearing. The finish stays gorgeous throughout the day. And I think this is a pretty iconic duo right here. For me, the fact that the concealer has so much pigment in it that it takes just a small amount and it can correct all of my under eye darkness, that makes it a winner immediately in my book. Now, I don't struggle with any kind of puffiness, but if you do, the caffeine in here is gonna be amazing for that. So dark circles and depuffing, the concealer's just it's a win. And I gotta say the same thing about the foundation. It just looks beautiful. It wears beautifully, and being a dry guy, I like having some of that shine to the skin where it looks healthy and natural. I don't want it to get greasy looking, but this is okay. I like this. And after 9 hours, for it to still look natural and not overly gooey, chef's kiss. Good job, Mario. Let me know down in the comments if you've tried the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I have not been buying anything from Makeup by Mario. I think I actually got this on a Sephora haul. Yes, I did. I'll leave that one linked up here if you guys want to check that out. I thought this was supposed to be like a contour, like a cream contour. I didn't realize it was actually pretty much just like this stick is, where it's, you know, sort of a mix between a bronzer and a contour, but it has more warmth than the stick, hence why I used it for bronzer today. But I hadn't gotten any Makeup by Mario because I was gonna just wait and use the discount on his website for being a professional makeup artist and just go ahead and get a whole kit worth of makeup, mainly foundations. That was my priority. But that would be very expensive, so I gave up on that dream and waiting on that dream, so I bit the bullet and I bought the dang foundation so I could try it. So here is our review. Let me know in the comments if you've tried the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. Did you like it? Does it work for your skin type? Or was it one of those foundations that aren't necessarily for you? Same for the concealer. Have you tried it? Do you have puffiness, and did it help with your puffiness? Let me know down in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you did. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!